Hey Geminis, welcome to September 2017. Like mentioned in the video title, this is a turning point month. This is intense. I'm sure you guys felt that eclipse energy. That was crazy last month. So the lunar eclipse was on the 7th and the solar eclipse on the 21st. So an eclipse does is it eclipses out what is no longer serving us anymore. So if something left your life or if something was brought to the surface that you needed to let go of, just let it go, because that was the universe's way of course correcting and saying, okay, like this is what needs to be cleansed, this is what has to be let go of, and the more we resist it and the more we fight it, the worse off we're going to be. So if the universe was trying to push something out during last month, just let it go, okay? That is something that I have to live by, because unfortunately last month with the eclipse I lost my brother. I spent 6 days in ICU with him, giving him tons of kisses and I love yous and hugs, and actually was able to say goodbye, which is in hindsight is such a blessing that I feel so blessed to be able to say goodbye to him, and physically shut the door and just be like, okay, this is my goodbye, which was beautiful. His name was Dane, and I'm just asking everybody to please smile for Dane, because he was that Leo, moon in Aries, who you could make him laugh no matter what. He was the first to smile, and please honor his legacy by remembering that life sucks. You know, he ended up carving life sucks into his stomach on a really low day. He struggled a lot with our world and what was expected of him. Life sucks, but there is beauty in the breakdown. Absolutely, there's beauty in the broken. And it's really kind of our duty to just still keep smiling and keep moving forward, even though life sucks. It's just what it is. Sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes it's really amazing, and we have to take the good with the bad, and we have to take the bad with the good. And it's only when we really get invested into the bad and say, ugh, this is horrible, and I'm going to latch onto this and stay here. Although, like I said, that eclipse was all about letting go. Okay? So Geminis, I'm urging you guys, let go. Let go, let go. Okay. That being said, Mercury is still retrograde until September 6th, and it is in the sky with Mars, so be on high alert, because this is a really intense time, so be more cautious than usual. When Mercury goes direct, if you post your birth day, your birth time, and your birth location, I can let you know exactly where Mercury is going direct with Mars, and that'll show you where in your life you have a lot of clarity, you have a lot of energy, you're able to communicate what you want, and you're able to go forward. So when Mercury and Mars are together like that, it's high peak season to get some stuff done. Saturn also went direct on August 27th, and Saturn is my ruling planet, so I get affected hardcore by Saturn, but Saturn is like, it's like father time. It's kind of the dad of astrology. It says, you go to Saturn and you say, this is what I want, and you do that by just doing what you want, and dad, aka Saturn, is like, oh yeah, that's what you want? I'll give it to you, but you gotta work for it. You know, for instance, like my dad was like, I'll give you this car, but you gotta match it half. You got to work hard and we'll match it, or something like that, you know? So Saturn allows us to get clear, focused, and serious about that area of our life. So like I said, post your birth day, time, and your birth location, exact birth time, and I can let you know where Saturn is giving you that seriousness. The full moon is on September 6th, and that's in Pisces. So anything that we release with the eclipse now is being asked to emotionally let go of it with this full moon on the 6th. And then the new moon on the 20th in Virgo is going to allow us to put down those, to manifest in those things that we need in order to go forward and build ourselves back up after everything we lost with the eclipse. So on the new moon, you want to write down at least 10 things that you want to see manifested into your life, and then burn it with the new moon. Thank Grandmother Moon for helping co-create your world. Thank the universe for helping co-create. Just try and send out as much thank yous as possible. And there's this is a really fun thing to do because you're able to get clear about your goals, right? When you're writing down 10 things that you want, you really have to think about it. A lot of people don't have a plan or a goal. They just kind of wait for life to happen to them, which is silly because we create our world. We control this. We're controlling this ship. So although there's obstacles and there's different options, we still ultimately decide what we want out of life, what we want to bring into our world through our thoughts and through our actions, okay? So by the written word, as a Gemini, you guys know how powerful the spoken and written word those things are. So use the new moon on September 20th to write down at least 10 things that you want to bring into your world, and then we'll start to see it manifesting into our lives, okay? That being said, I mentioned in the video, like I said, that this is a turning point month, and when I say that, that is based on numerology. So, like I mentioned a couple of videos before, I think it was in July or June, I was saying that you add your birthday and your birth month together, and then you reduce that down to a single digit, add 1 to that single digit, reduce that down to a single digit, and that's the peak of your year. So post your birthday and I can absolutely let you know what that means for you, because this is a really, really intense turning point month, and we want to have at least some sense of control when it comes to what's going on, okay? That being said, because September 2017 is the peak of the one universal year, be expected for new changes, new direction, new energy, new beginnings across the board, okay? That's just what it is. And then next year is going to be a really spiritual year in which we're focused on love, devotion, and although this year was all self-centered, next year will be more partner-based, okay? So, like I said, post your birth details as usual, and I'm just going to throw so much information at you, Geminis, because this is an intense and incredibly advantageous month if we know where to put that energy and what to take advantage of, okay? So, let's get started. This reading is for Geminis for September 2017. Gemini, September 2017. Gemini. September 2017. Gemini, September 2017. Another card just popped out for you guys, so obviously the cards want to talk today, which is good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gemini, September 2017. Okay, so the card that popped out, the way that I've been doing my readings is if a card pops out face down, it's something that we haven't acknowledged yet. So this is a card that popped out face up, and this is probably how you guys are feeling right now. Incredibly, come on, focus, incredibly empowered, definitely financially feeling comfortable for the first time in a while, feeling very stable, feeling like you could make some forward direction, feeling like you could take some risks, especially financial risks, but kind of chilling on it a little bit, okay? You know that you have good luck right now. You know that the sun is shining on you in when it comes to power and finances. That might not be an emotional thing, but let's see what was face down that has to be recognized, okay? And it's exactly what I was just talking about, the emotional side of it. So although Geminis, come on, focus. Although Geminis, you have your finances in order and your power there, when it comes to your emotions, that's something that really, really has to be acknowledged and brought to the forefront. Okay, Gems? You guys are feeling, the theme of this reading is that you guys are feeling incredibly bound right now, and it's bound by your thoughts. I've mentioned this a million times in every Gemini video, but my father-in-law is a Gemini, Moon in Virgo, and you can literally hear his thought process and see it in his eyes, and it always leads to a dark alley. You can tell that he'll have one thought, and you'll like see the progression of it getting negative in his eyes. The thing is that negativity spreads like a weed. And if we don't focus on what we're thinking about, especially as a Gemini who has a million thoughts going through your head, as a fellow air sign, I know all about that, million thoughts going through your head. If we're just letting them run rampant, they're going to go into our subconscious. They get filed into our subconscious, okay? Acknowledging our thoughts and just actually being present and watching them and observing your thoughts and just saying, okay, that's interesting, letting it go. That's interesting, letting it go. Instead of just letting them veer you off, you'll absolutely be able to empower yourself and get rid of these feelings of being stuck. Because do you notice the swords? This person is bound by leather, which can easily be cut by the swords around her. So she's bound, and she can't even see that she has the power to free herself in front of her. So Geminis, you guys absolutely can free yourself and allow yourselves to get to this emotional empowerment to match up with your physical empowerment. Sorry. By just acknowledging that you have the tools in front of you, 100%. The swords also represent our thoughts. Swords, it's all about our thoughts. So use your thoughts to free yourselves and to empower yourselves. You've been on a little bit of a fool's journey figuring out what you need to end because family and friends are really asking for your support right now. So although you're feeling completely emotionally bound, that's just because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know how to get forward. Writing down a goal and a plan on the new moon will absolutely take away this this just feeling of what's going on, what's happening, feeling completely out of control, knowing that something has to end, knowing that you need to still be supporting your family and friends, but just having no idea how to go forward. Having no idea how to go forward. So that's the theme. That's the theme of it. Okay, so let's get started on the actual reading. Let me. Okay. Okay. So Gemini, you're feeling something must have ended for you guys. Something must have ended and now you guys are alone. I know that we talked a couple readings back about letting go of this soulmate relationship. They're still here. They're right here. Your soulmate has not... Did you guys not let your soulmate go? Or maybe you're trying to let go of your soulmate and they just keep coming back. The thing with soulmates is that they do that, right? Like... we create these bonds, these connections with people, especially a soulmate. And even though we physically remove ourselves or they move away, we're still connected through ethereal cords. I was just discussing this in the Taurus video, which I will discuss to you Geminis. To cleanse your aura, it cuts all those ethereal cords. So if you're really trying to get away from the soulmate, if you're really trying to just start fresh, maybe focus more on your family and friends and not so much about this soulmate relationship, you got to cut the cords, okay? You got to really call on Saint Germain, his violet flame. Just envision this violet flame, throw yourself into it, throw your relationship into it, throw your soulmate into it, and we'll cut the cords, and then you can start fresh. And then at least you don't have those connectors, so you can actually be free, and your soulmate can be free enough to decide whether you want to be in each other's lives based on actual love, as opposed to just based on this feeling like you can't get away from them, okay? So starting back into a relationship or enhancing your relationship based on a clean aura slate is really going to empower everybody around you, okay, including this relationship. So the situation is that you guys have been spending some time alone. Something did end, or you guys are spending some time alone, but with that time alone, you're really empowering yourself. You're really getting to know what's going on and where you want to go in life, what your path is, okay? You're kind of the way, okay, so for the Hermit card, there's another deck that I was reading about. There's another deck where although this guy is here, I forget which deck it is. Maybe it's, anyways, so there's another deck where the Hermit is here and he's lighting the way for himself, but usually in the corner right here, you'll see another person and it will have the same face as the Hermit and it's their old self. It's their old self. You're lighting the way for your old self. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're feeling really alone right now, recognize that this alone time really is empowering you. We can't, excuse me, we can't love anyone until we love ourselves. You know, if you can't spend time alone, who's going to spend time with you, right? You need to be comfortable being alone and happy being alone so that when someone comes into your life, they complement it. They don't complete it. And that might be a lot of the issues going on here when it comes to the soulmate, is that there's more of a need. It's not that you just want this person around you. It's like you need this person around you. And that's because being alone is too scary. So recognize that, yeah, you might be alone right now. Something ended where you're feeling really alone, but you really are empowering yourself, because this is the obstacle and the aid. Look at this beautiful card. So although this happiness, this feeling completely emotionally fulfilled, feeling like you can move on with life, feeling like you could actually just live your life, feeling like a new person, feeling completely empowered, and like I'm feeling like erect, like you're really like up there and put on a pedestal. To get here, alone time is absolutely needed. And maintaining this focus and realizing that your alone time is going to get you to this place is what's going to aid you in that alone time. So I'm urging you guys, and when I say alone time, I don't mean just, okay, I'm gonna be alone and just go online and talk to people. I mean like alone time, like turn off your phone. I know that isn't impossible. I know that that's crazy for a Gemini, because you guys are the communicators, especially with your ruling planet Mercury in retrograde. You guys are probably over talking right now, or wanting to over talk. But if you can turn off your phone, turn off your computer, write, or even if you want to talk, do a recording, make a video, just do something where you're connecting with yourself and you're shutting out the world. And that really will help you guys. Subconsciously, all you're thinking about is getting your family happy, getting something new into your life where you can just be emotionally fulfilled. That's what's ruling a lot of your emotions. So if you're feeling, if you're struggling with this alone time, it's because subconsciously you really just want to be in a committed, happy family and marriage life. However, you're just thinking that, you know, you're out in the cold with this change. You're completely out in the cold. You've lost your power. You have no idea what's going forward. You feel shut out. You feel left out. You feel cold and alone. You feel stabbed in a way, like stabbed in the back. You feel hurt. You feel emotion. You have like crazy emotional baggage now that you're trying to camouflage and just carry with you instead of just letting it, releasing it and empowering yourself with it. So although this is beneath the surface and this is what's really motivating you guys, the thinking and the thought processes are really binding you guys and making you feel incredibly powerless. So something that would have just passed away is what you've manifested, okay? You put something out there, you created something that you thought was really going to build you up, that was going to give you stability, that was going to kind of be, you know, something that you really worked on. It was brick by boring brick. Like you just kept building, building, building. And now it's like, how am I alone now? Because I didn't create this for myself. Or maybe you did and you didn't even realize it. So if you're feeling alone and you're like, how did this happen? And maybe you're diverting the blame on other people, it might be time to recognize that maybe it was your own thoughts or your own actions or your own creations that has manifested this into your life. Right now, you guys are really focusing on your finances and on your power, okay? And it's an internalized. Very, very proud. Financially, you guys are good. Financially, everything is good. But like I said, it's the emotional thing that's coming on. Because look, this is how your family and friends are viewing you. Look at this grumpy person who is just so focused on their finances, so stern when it comes to their finances, so unwilling. And do you see that bag? See this bag right here? That's probably their emotions. That's probably your emotions that you just, I'm just going to put it right here and just focus on my money or power or whatever power means to you. Emotions here, power here. That's what your family and friends are seeing. So be cognizant of that, okay? If you want this, if you want your family and friends, your family to be emotionally happy, you have to show them. Lead by example, right? Lead by example. Show them what it's like to be emotionally happy and fulfilled, okay? Hope and fear is that you want to make a change. But you know that change is going to inflict on someone else. And you're okay with that. You know that change that you have to make or that's coming, and you know, this is a turning point month, you know that it's really going to inflict on someone else, or someone's change is inflicting on you. Not that upset about it. Not that upset about it. Almost like this guy is smirking. This guy's like, yep, I win. Although he is compassionate enough to look back on them, you know, and kind of give them that one last look, he's pretty satisfied with the change he's made that is imposed on other people's sense of freedom or lack thereof. So this is a hope and a fear. So you want to do it, but you also fear, you probably fear how that's going to look on your reputation, how that's going to let you sleep at night, right? I know for a lot of Geminis, that is the hardest thing, is just turning your mind off at night. And if you don't have a clear conscience, and you're just, you know, allowing your thoughts to run rampant in your mind and in your psyche, it's going to feel incredibly boxing, incredibly restricting. Okay? The final card is that you're going to get to an emotional place with your family and friends, but there's still going to be something missing. There's still going to be something that you haven't acknowledged there. So although you've been, focused on your finances, especially this home and family, although you've been focusing on your finances, you will eventually get to this point where you're like, okay, these emotions are real and they have to be acknowledged, but there's still going to be just one missing. And then that one is going to force you to make a change. And then guess what? Last card, soulmate. Soulmate comes back in. Okay? And hopefully this time when the soulmate comes in, you guys are both in the situation where you don't need that soulmate. You've done just fine alone. Remember these? You've done just fine on your own. You don't need the soulmate. So by recognizing what's missing in your life, recognizing that you have to make a change, regardless of how that affects you financially, that will finally bring in the soulmate in a positive and empowering way. Okay, Geminis, good luck with everything. I really, I love reading soulmate relationship reads. Like I said, my dad is a Gemini, and after losing his son, I really do think that soulmate is what's needed. And this gets me excited because I know that his soulmate's coming back in, and it's going to be in a spot, it's going to be in a situation where, you know, this soulmate is going to complement and not complete our family, which is obviously good. And my cat is all over this place, so that's my cue to leave you guys. Like I said, please post your birth details below or send me an email at beyondyoursunsign@gmail.com. I'm having so much fun so far. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being there for me. When it all comes down to it, everything that happened with my brother, if I wasn't doing these videos, I really don't think that I would have gotten back on the horse. I take these videos incredibly seriously when it comes to how good I feel, and I definitely feel better tapping into your guys' energy. So thank you so much for being so open and accepting of the messages that I give and receive. Love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing, amazing turning point month, and I will see you guys in October. Bye, Geminis.